What's up, YouTube? I'm here to do my predictions for UFC Fight Night Silva versus Arlovski. Starting from the bottom, we got Ronnie Yaya versus Johnny Bedford. I think a lot of people are picking Bedford in this fight, but I think the one problem with Bedford is he lays himself way too open for too many things. You know, like in that fight with Brian Caraway, you know, even though he was losing, he just jumped into a guillotine basically and got submitted with that. And you know, he's been knocked out a lot of times and been submitted a lot of times, and I think he's just going to make a mistake like he always does, and I think Ronnie Yaya is going to win by submission. Next we got Paul Thiago versus Shane Spencer. I think Paul Thiago's past his prime already. I think this is probably going to be his last fight in the UFC. I think Shane Spencer's kind of on his upswing, and he'll probably win by decision or third round TKO. Next we got Francisco Trinaldo versus Leonardo Silva. I don't know too much about Silva, but I do know that this is his debut, so I've got to go with Trinaldo. I think his experience is going to get him this win. I'm going to say he wins by either, you know, submission or decision. Not sure, but I'm going to pick for Trinaldo. Next we got Igor versus George Sullivan. And, you know, both these guys are, you know, they're not super well rounded. It's pretty much striker versus grappler, and I gotta go with the grappler, which is Igor. I'm gonna say Igor wins by either, you know, decision or late submission. And then the main fight on the prelims is Godofredo Pepe versus Deshaun Johnson. And Deshaun Johnson looked really good in his debut fight. I think, you know, he showed that he's got really good, he's really athletic and he's got really good boxing. I think as long as this fight stays on the feet, he's gonna knock out Pepe. So I've gotta pick Deshaun Johnson. I think that he's an underdog. I'm not sure, but I think that this is a fight that he can definitely win. Onto the main card, we got Yuri Alcantara versus Russell Doan. And I want to pick Russ just because he's from Hawaii, but I just don't think he's gonna beat Yuri. I think Yuri is one of those guys. He's not losing anybody but like the top 5, and it sucks because I want Russ to win because he's from Hawaii, but I just can't pick him. I gotta pick Yuri because I honestly think Yuri's the better fighter. Next we got Santiago versus Wendell, and Santiago's from the Ultimate Fighter Brazil. I don't know too much about Wendell, but they usually want the Ultimate Fighter guys to win, so I'll pick Santiago by late TKO. Next we got two Ultimate Fighter winners, Leonardo Santos versus Efrain Escudero. And this is probably going to be a slow fight. I mean, I see this fight going to decision. I don't think it's going to be very exciting, but I think Leonardo Santos is going to win. And even if it looks like he loses, so he's going to win because it's in Brazil. I mean, I've seen a lot of fights in Brazil where it doesn't look like the guy won and he wins anyway, so gotta pick Santos. Next is Gleison Tibau versus Piotr Hallman, and I think this is an easy fight for Tibau as long as, you know, he fights like how he did against Pat Healy. He'll win a decision. I don't think Piotr Hallman fights. I think Piotr Hallman fights exactly like Pat Healy does, except for not, you know, he's not as good as Pat Healy. I think even worse is he gasses because his build is like Tibau. So I think Tibau's probably gonna win every single round. So I got Tibau 30-27. Main event: Antonio Silva versus Andrei Arlovski, and you know, the only thing that concerns me going into this is that Silva was on TRT and he took a big beating in that fight with Mark Hunt. So the fact that he is off TRT and that he just came off that fight where he basically just got that shit beat out of him makes me worry. I'm gonna pick Andrei Arlovski by knockout first round. I think if it goes past the first round, Silva's gonna win by decision though, but it's just hard. I don't think he is. I think he's going to get knocked out just because the fact that he's off the TRT, hasn't fought in like a year, and the fact that his last fight was just such a beatdown. I mean, you know, he beat up Mark Hunt too, but the difference is he was on drugs, so, you know, he was able to recover quicker while he was on it, but, you know, you take a beating, and then you get off the TRT, and it takes your body to adjust, and I just think he's probably going to get knocked out. I don't think his body's going to be in perfect shape for this fight. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.